Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Galactic Pod Racing Tournament. My name is Balmus, and I'm here with my co-commentator, Leaf Green Sniper.
Hey, what's up, y'alls?
Hey, we are in the losers semis of the upper bracket. I love this new tourney structure, but it is a mouthful. Today we have Metallica going up against Dredge. Both of these very powerful racers. Metallica has been in the top 5 consistently for the past, I believe, 4 years and was tourney champion in 2019, if I remember. And Dredge, Hellfire, is technically a rookie, but they've been moving up the ranks with astonishing speed.
He's got some good, I don't recall all the records Hellfire has, but, I know on Bunta training, he's got a really good time. It's like top 4 or something, so... Yeah, I think this is going to be, maybe Metallica has a bit of an edge, but I think Hellfire can pull out some cool stuff, or hopefully, so, yeah.
Indeed. I would say Metallica is probably the favorite, as it were.
Yeah.
But Dredge is not out of it by any means. They took on Ace a while back, well, in the last match, and pulled out some really strong racing.
Yeah, I actually don't recall that one off the top of my head, but it sounds familiar.
All right, countdown has been given. It looks like we might be seeing the start of the race here. We are having some audio issues. I can't hear this. Can anyone else hear this?
Put that comment in the chat. I'm boosting my volume up a touch. A little more? Alright, we'll do. Does that sound better now, stream?
I'm still not getting any game sound.
Oh, you're not? Sorry about that.
Chat says, make some pod riser. Booze, wee, screech, you know. There we go. Figured that out.
That's what you need. Gotcha. Reason Hellfire.
Apologies for that. All right, just looking at this race, both racers are fairly neck and neck here, going up in this area of fast terrain.
Both passed the cart without dying or any major issues.
The trouble with a race like this is it is so hard to know who to watch. They're both such strong racers.
Alright, here we go for the lap 2 times.
113. Oh. Wow, look at that. Identical lap times.
That's fun.
Ooh, Hellfire almost, skidding across the edge there. Just looking at this, Hellfire is being incredibly aggressive. They know that they have to beat Metallica, and Metallica is not going to be an easy person to beat. They're taking those corners much more closely.
Push the limits here.
All right, into the straightaway. Get a fire finish from both.
Oh.
Sorry, fire finish from Hellfire, and not one from Metallica. Hellfire takes the first race at 340 and .245. Oh, that's lovely. All right, we will now move into the track ban phase. Each player will take turns banning 2 tracks out of 25, which we will not see in this tournament match. Metallica bans Grabvine Gateway. Hellfire responds by banning Zugga Challenge. Metallica bans Boonta Training Course, not surprising given Hellfire's record there. And Hellfire bans the Gauntlet. And in the chat, we have some context. The tourney record on Spice Mine Run is 339.741, only half a second off from Hellfire.
Turned it up.
All right.
Lilac.
All right. The loser of the last race, Metallica, will now temp ban a racer. Hellfire will temp ban a track, and Metallica will choose where we're going for this next race. Metallica has temp banned Ben Quadraneros. Hellfire has responded by banning Baru Coast.
Oh.
And where are we going?
Potentially another Barunda track? Or
Indeed.
Viable?
All right, Metallica has used one of his force points to send us to Inferno Skips.
I guess we're going to see Mars then, right?
Most likely. Mars is the most consistent on this track. Not the fastest, but in a tournament setting, you want the most consistent race possible.
Yeah, we're not trying to pull for personal best strategies. Just getting through the track without dying is the most important.
Looks like Dredge is not happy with his choice, which makes sense. Metallica holds the tourney record here at 22 seconds and 22.392, whereas Hellfire's record here is over a minute. Not exactly the matchup you want to see. Or at least Hellfire's tourney record, I should say.
I changed around the audio again page. Does that sound any better? Cool.
31 seconds on that warm-up from Dredge. And that was 21.91 for Metallica on that warm-up, which is better than the tournament record. Oh, I don't like to call a race before it happens, but this is looking fairly one-sided here.
Certainly an impressive showing, no doubt. There's a few more moments left of the countdown, or practice time, I should say.
Yeah, that's twice in practice that Hellfire hasn't made it up over the ledge on the turnaround.
I believe Hellfire has started. Metallica. I'm not gonna bother with the sync on this one, given it's gonna be over so soon, but. Actually, I think this is Hellfire's run now.
Yep, this is the actual race now,
Oh, is
because
it?
I can't imagine that Hellfire would have not reset after a crash like that. Oh.
Probably
Are they forfeiting?
delay then.
They might be forfeiting.
Really? Let's see.
Unless this is it? This is it.
Yeah, just some shit.
Ooh. Oh, that hurts.
Well, I think your bet might have been solidly placed there, Bonus. As Metallica finishes his run.
Yes, Metallica finish was a 31.93 versus 32.057 from
Close,
Hellfire.
though.
Yeah. Closer than I expected it to be.
Did Metallica take a death? I wasn't watching there. Because with the death, that's a close time, even with the time lost from a death.
All right, where are we going next? Hellfire
Okay,
Temp
gotcha,
Band's
gotcha.
Elan Mac, which feels like a throwaway, but it might not be.
Hmm. So this is what the tournament's normally like. Yeah, the tournaments, matches have a lot of back and forth, and there's a lot of actually close calls, and just barely one racer winning, so it can get
All
pretty fun.
right. Metallica Temp Band's Executioner and Hellfire sends us to Beato's Wild Ride Full Track.
Oh, wow. I don't think that's one of the... We don't really see this track too often, if I recall. In tournament
It
settings, at least.
it is kind of notorious for being one of the more difficult amateur track circuits. It's got a
Mm-hmm.
very tricky tent skip. It's got a lot of fast terrain, which is difficult to optimize correctly.
Here's the... Yeah, that kill texture spot on the snowy
hmm
plains area and all that nonsense.
We should be expecting to see Ben Quadraneros here, Ben Mirror, because he is the fastest pod on this track. Oh, Hellfire downgrading his air brake. That's interesting.
Although it is kind of fun to see the racers soar over the little frozen pond section.
Hmm. In this case, this pond that Hellfire is going over is all fast terrain, but the demands of a faster line means you normally just soar over it, just fly all the way across that pond.
As you saw there, Metallica opted not to go for the turn, just doing the normal first lap strats.
Which makes sense. While it is, in theory, a shorter line, it requires much more precise boost management, and it's a lot harder to get out of here without dying, as you see Hellfire manages that skip. Alright, countdown has been given. Oh, what? What the heck is Hellfire doing? Just practicing the skip? Ah, okay. Alright, looks like about a 5-second sync on this one.
Seconds.
Alright, both players dead even coming out of the ice fields. Metallica may be slightly ahead, choosing to take advantage of that fast terrain.
Metallica has much lower heat though. Look at that.
True, Metallica is just a little bit behind, but with higher heat to take advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
And
Could
already
that
we're seeing
be...
go ahead.
Yeah, could that be perhaps because Hellfire is choosing to go for the tent route?
Unlikely, I don't think so, because Metallica was already on low heat before that divergence. This would be where that heat's coming from, I think. Is landing on that ice field and just having a second to cool off.
That's what I meant to say was maybe Hellfire could use a bit more heat and then get it recharged on the fast terrain in the tunnel.
Dredge is about half a second, almost a full second ahead at this point.
Pulled the two tents off with no issues.
Very strong showing.
Seems like the strategy's paying off. Alright, the final time. Yeah, Hellfire takes that one.
239.9 versus 241.2, a very impressive race.
Sure if we stated this, but this is a best of 13, so the first player to get to 7 wins will take the victory for the match.
And at stake is the progression in the tournament. Both of these players have lost one race, so with the double elimination format, whoever loses this race is out of the tournament. Metallica temp bans Ben Quadraneros. That's interesting. Be taking us to an off-meta pick, or perhaps one of the remaining Barunda courses. Hellfire reacts by banning Baru Coast, so if Metallica wants Barunda, he's going to have to go to FMR or Inferno.
Grabvine's still on the table, right?
Unfortunately, no. Gravine was permabanned.
Oh, okay, okay. I was looking at. Oh, okay.
All right, Metallica takes us to Sebulba's Legacy with skips.
Okay. Yeah, this one isn't so much a skip as it is just kind of bouncing on a part of the track that wasn't supposed to be the intended path. It doesn't like clip through any
Indeed.
walls or anything.
It doesn't clip through any walls. You just ride along a canyon edge and skip an entire bowl, skip a bowl of track. Yes.
Yeah, big turn. It takes a little bit of distance up.
It's had its kind of history where it was announced to be a skip and then decided it wasn't a skip and then now it's a skip again.
Mm-hmm.
It's all technically inbounds, but not intended. And with Ben banned, we're probably going to see a Bowls mirror. Bowls is technically the second fastest, but he's also much harder to use, and on a track like this, which is all twisty and tricky. Yep, both racers have chosen Mars instead.
Yeah, more of a all-round versatile pick while still having some good strong attributes.
Here we see Metallica taking that skip, just bouncing off the canyon edge and cutting across. Ooh, both players taking simultaneous crashes in practice.
Yeah, the part where Hellfire took the crash, that can be really tricky because the walls, if I'm correct, kind of extend vertically very high, so you can't really cut out that part. You gotta maneuver with the course as it wants you to.
It's that one part of the course that has the texture kill spots and the invisible walls, and is really what makes Sebulba's Legacy more difficult than it otherwise would be.
The lottery of fun, all of that one little chunk of the track.
All right, countdown has been given. So in another 20 seconds or so, we ought to see the actual track.
3.0.
3.5, 3.3, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Oh no! Hellfire takes an
Ooh.
early crash, clips the wall. That's unfortunate. And on a race this short with skips, there's really no time for him to recover unless Metallica also crashes.
Yeah, let's not rule out the possibility. It is only lap 1, but as you see, Metallica's already crossing the line there. I didn't quite catch that. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, that first turn. I was talking to Paige earlier this week. She was telling me that first turn is that's the hardest part in this track, given it's such a hairpin.
Two crashes on such a short course must be really bad for your mental game. I hope Hellfire doesn't let that get to him. Get to them. All right, Metallica coming in for the final turn with a 148.34. .335, forgive me, yeah. And Hellfire 157.875. Unfortunate.
Those crashes are costly, especially on the short
Yep.
track, like you were saying. Well, it's still
All
number
right,
one round.
and we have a tie game, 2-2. Hellfire, temp bans Elan, Mac, and Metallica again bans Executioner. Metallica does not want to do Executioner skips. And we're going to Mongaza Speedway. Most likely again, a Ben Mirror.
Bring on the speed, indeed.
This is one of those don't blink or you'll miss it tracks, folks. You're likely to see track times in the range of 38, 39, 40 seconds. And even that is going to be very close.
Yeah, I won't attempt to do Paige's style of auctioneering commentating. I don't think I got the chops for that. But yeah, it'll be a quick one, that's for sure.
I agree, Game Draco. This is essentially a coin flip. And I know that Hellfire has been working on this track for quite a long grind. So we'll see who wins this. Countdown in 15 seconds. All right, start of the race. Already you can see that Metallica is taking those curves much more safely, much more widely, but that also means much more slowly.
It seems to be gumming it here. Certainly makes for a more
Yes.
thrilling viewing experience. Wonder if Metallica's banking on a death from Hellfire?
I wouldn't. Oh!
Well, still wins though.
Wins with a crash. Holy
Well,
crap.
at least it was at the end of the final lap, or it doesn't matter.
Still, that's kind of incredible.
It's pushing it.
Does this still count as a death if the death happens after the lap? I'm not actually sure.
I mean, the engines blew up, but yeah, I don't know. Half a death? Yeah, perhaps. So it looks like for race 6, Metallica has temporarily banned Ben. Doug Derby was banned from Hellfire. Track we are going to is Executioner.
Executioner, but full track because Metallica's in control here, which means that if Hellfire wants to do Executioner skips, they're going to have to use one of their salty runbacks. Oh, their one salty runback, I should say.
Yeah, just one.
And with Ben banned, we'll likely be seeing a Ball's Mirror here. All right, both racers have chosen their pods. Looks like both are going with balls. The tournament record with balls, I think, is 357.596 from Mikey Burger.
Old Mikey. Well, it looks like the countdown was just given.
So in another 20 seconds, we should see the actual race. All right, looks like about a 3.3 second delay there.
Okay.
Oh no!
Hellfire. Oh no.
Oh, that's an unfortunate spot to take an early death there. Looks like Hellfire just barely missed the ramp there and went down the wall, I think?
Hmm. At least with this track, there's a little more room to make up some distance.
Indeed, it's a much longer track. We see Metallica riding up the wall to sink down the drain. Metallica using up as much of his heat as possible so he can cool down in that long anti-grav tube. Whereas
Hey.
Hellfire, because of that death, has had to use some of his heat, some of their heat, to make sure that they just maintain speed. Oof, about a 4-second difference in lap 1. Oh, but Metallica takes a death.
I think that might close the gap a bit. It looks like Hellfire's pulling ahead, just by a little bit.
And we have a race again. And after this, both racers are likely to be incredibly aggressive because they probably both think the other one has not crashed. Oh no. I'm sorry.
Commentator's curse or something? My goodness.
Hellfire takes a second crash on the asteroids. Ow. Yes, Game Draco says the first anti-grav tube is where this track earns its name of Executioner. And you're right. When you're right, you're right.
We could get out some Sarlacc love in the chat, kind of like our Dozer friend on, I'm blanking on the name. I feel like it's so lonely just sitting in the tube all by himself. Ooh, Metallica nearly hit the left pillar there. The engines flashed for a brief moment.
And I should emphasize, even with the crashes, this is some incredible racing we're seeing out here. Bowles is not a fun pod to use. He's very slippery. Hellfire is just going all out all the time. Metallica makes it through the tube cleanly. And with that, there's relatively few things for Metallica to run into past that point.
Yeah, the second tube doesn't have any boulders, if I remember.
Nope. No boulders, it's just the one wall in the arena.
Yep.
Four minutes and 76.76 from Metallica versus 4:05 from Hellfire. And again, we have a tie game.
Just trading blows back and forth.
That's interesting. Hellfire temp bans Mahonic. Is that a throwaway, or do they have a plan? Metallica continues to ban Executioner. We're not having Executioner skips.
Yeah, that's definitely a ace in Hellfire's pocket, so definitely want to make sure that doesn't happen, at least for Metallica.
Oh, and Hellfire uses their first points for the first time in the lap to ban Mars Guo and Bullseye Navarre before sending us to Fire Mountain Rally.
Interesting. So I guess Ben is on the table. It'd be a little difficult. Bullseye is the
Ben is,
best option for the turning, but with Bullseye out of the picture,
I would say the best option here with Mars and Mahonic banned is probably Elan.
hmm.
Or no, possibly Neva Key. Neva Key is still available.
Oh, Niviki would be legendary.
Well, we have seen, I think, 4 or 5 tracks this tournament that have been Fire Mountain Rally with Neva.
Let's see if I can spur on our racers to choose our
Come on,
favorite.
let's not do that.
No, okay.
That's true, Nate, man. Hellfire does have an insane time on this race with Ben, but it's so
Flashbacks to
hard
the
to do and
qualifying
so
match.
inconsistent. You just don't see that in an attorney situation. No. Hellfire, don't do this.
Metallica went
No.
for Neva, and oh man, we got red versus blue. Ooh.
Oh no. Oh no, Hellfire, no.
I think we're doing it. It's happening.
You did this during qualifiers. Don't do this in tournament, Hellfire. Don't do this.
The redemption arc begins, Balmos. Come on. Let's have some optimism.
It's Fire Mountain Rally. I'm not sure any amount of optimism is going to make this happen.
Come on, we gotta believe. We gotta believe. It can happen. They say that crashes in the waterfall.
This mad lad.
Indeed.
All right, countdown is incoming, so if they're going to change, they better do it fast.
Looks like Metallica is off. With some bumps. And
Yeah,
here's
about a 4.5 second, 4.3. Oh, I can't wait to watch this race.
Oh, my eyes are gonna be glued.
For people in the chat who haven't played the game and don't understand why I'm reacting like this, Ben Quaterneros, the red racer that Hellfire is using, is a Formula One racer. He's a dragster. He goes really fast in a straight line, and he has enough turning to do most tracks in the game. This is not most tracks in the game. It is twisty. It is windy. You can die everywhere on this track. And if this works out, I will, shake Hellfire's hand. But wow, this is a crazy pick, no matter how you slice it.
And Ivaki's quite the opposite. Very maneuverable, twitchy. I'm not sure what kind of car you would want to liken him to. He's basically like Bullseye, but just not as good.
But it's working out for Hellfire so far. Hellfire's ahead.
Just by a touch. Ivaki just doesn't have the boosting potential and cooling of Ben.
.148.49, a full second ahead of Hellfire. So if they can keep this up, yeah, they'll win easily. If they can keep this up, if they don't crash.
Yeah, that's going to be the sticky point. Neva can take crashes a little better because of the crazy acceleration. Ben's a little slower in that department, though. I mentioned Cheeseland yet, Balma's, the section that both races are now in. This area of the track can be a little tricky. On lap 2, as Hellfire just went through the shortcut, a rock breaks, and you can take a little cut through the part of the track there.
Both players very clean through the shortcut. I'd like everyone watching to know that I have not taken a breath in about 30 seconds. I have just watched this and just, I'm not going to say anything. If I say anything, something's going to happen bad and I'll feel bad. I'm just going to be quiet right now.
Fire manages a clean lap too, as does Metallica. Which is really impressive, because this track can get you in so many ways. You really have to play it to understand it. I'm sure most of you have, but just for the few people who haven't. Oh!
Oh, and there it goes. That's the match. Unless Metallica crashes, and Metallica is scarily consistent, so he probably won't. Oh, that hurts.
That waterfall can be such a tricky spot.
But even now, Hellfire is not that far behind because they had almost a 2-second lead for the first 2 laps.
Yeah, maybe Hellfire's good pace can save them a little bit of distance. Give a chance to catch back up.
It's not over, but it's so close.
Yeah, there's just not that many places Ben can use his speed to the full potential.
Yeah, already Hellfire is caught up because this is the section with all the straightaways.
Oh, I spoke too soon. Yeah, this is one of the few of the little lava mountain section. Yeah, looks like Hellfire has the slight lead again. Also the bridge section after Cheeseland, the ramps I should say. Hellfire escapes through that shortcut and the little cut there. This is mighty close. Shit for Hellfire!
Oh my
goodness!
gosh! He did it!
Another
He did
third
it!
lap crash. Absolute
They did
mad
it!
lad. My goodness.
Oh, this is insane! They did it!
Oh, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Even with a death on lap 2. Or lap 3, I
Oh
should say,
my
at the
gosh!
waterfall. Scratched
Oh,
out like a .4 lead about. Yeah.
just about, yes!
Uh-huh, not much.
Oh my gosh, in tournament with Ben, with a death!
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Oh, I think I need a minute. That was crazy. Oh my gosh.
Alright, where are we going next? Let's see here. Metallica has banned Ben. Hellfire has banned. I should say banned Bumpy's Breakers. Looks like the track is going to be Doug Derby with skips. So Metallica
And
needs
that
a force point there.
and that is, I believe, Metallica's last force point. Oh, or
Oh,
wait, is it 4 in this format? Yeah, it's 4 force points. Metallica has 1 point left.
okay. Yeah, so the skips on Doug Derby cuts down oh, you missed a lot, my buddy Yam.
Yam, you were too late by like 5 minutes. You need to rewatch this
Oh
VOD.
man. Yeah, I would recommend going back and rewatching this. But to the current race, the skips on Doug Derby cuts out one of the most difficult tracks with a lot of turns and attention to a kind of goofy looking skip.
I think I have to say, yes, this track is based on Laguna Seca. However, we will not be seeing it today.
Digital would have an aneurysm if we didn't mention it, so glad
Exactly.
we
Well, not
gave it
not
out for
not even
him.
digital. It
Oh,
was
there's more people. Okay, okay. Digital, but Laguna Seca is a raceway track in California. For those who don't know.
I think there are two Malastair tracks that are based on real life raceways, but I just forget what the other one is.
M100? Why is
Possibly, and is Metallica in
in Mirror?
reverse?
Yeah, he. Yeah, it's in reverse.
I mean, there's no rules against it, I don't think. You can't force your opponent to use, but you can use it yourself if you want.
Okay, that could be fun. Looks like Hellfire's using the standard format.
Yep. We're seeing both players using Juan, which is not surprising. Juan has a very high pod height, and the handling characteristics make him very good for skips.
And the best traction in the game, so you don't slip off the wall as much. Yeah, for some reason the game devs decided to make the wall go past the physical texture, so that way we can do the silly skip we're seeing right now.
It looks like Hellfire is having some issues with this skip.
Yeah, it looks like Hellfire expressed a little dissent in the chat, perhaps. Seems like Metallica is more comfortable, just like on Inferno. Looks like the countdown has been given. Has Metallica started? Oh, there they go. Okay.
I do love that with skips, this race is so short. We've gotten the submission results before the track has gone on the stream.
Already, alright then.
Uh-oh, trouble for Hellfire already. Didn't go far enough to they didn't go far enough to actually register that lap.
Oh, that's costly.
Oh, and a crash too. Although 25-second first lap for Metallica is pretty long.
Looks like
All
Hellfire just
right,
continued.
Hellfire forfeits.
Yeah.
Neither player is happy about this. Hellfire says cringe in their results, and Metallica says, can we just end the match and go home as a draw? Oh no. Score is 4-3, Metallica leading. Oh, score 4-4, yeah. My apologies, I forgot to update the tracker.
Trading blows back and forth. Let's see, we're gonna get to well, we're already at game 9, so
Talk about whiplash, though, from that Ben FMR to this.
kind of fell off there, but it's just how it is in the tournament sometimes.
Hellfire bans Neva Key, Metallica bans Executioner. Again, we are not having that salty run back. And Hellfire sends us to Vengeance.
Another Uvu 4 track. Uvu 4.
Oh no.
Yeah, a little
Oh,
bit.
4.
Yeah.
All right, looks like Metallica is taking FUD along for the ride to break some asteroids. And so is Hellfire.
Racing can get lonely sometimes. You need a buddy here and there.
And if the buddy happens to run headfirst into some asteroids and make your life easier, hey, what are friends for?
It works out. It all works out.
Now, the trick for Vengeance is that you want to make... Let me try that one more time with my mouth actually working. The trick for Vengeance is that extended anti-grav portion, which is all fast terrain. So the trick of this track is managing your heat so that you are as high heat as possible before that, and then spend most of that time cooling down. There, I managed it. Oh, right, Yam is pointing out that Metallica is using the texture upgraded pack, which basically restores the textures to the version in the N64. You can see it's got all these nice straight lines in those anti-grav portions, whereas Metallica is using the old broken textures that are all checkerboarded.
Oh, I see the difference, yeah. Think of the bit rate.
All right, I think we're seeing the start here. About 2.8 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
Both players are electing to take the figure eight as a figure eight instead of cutting straight across one side. Cutting straight is technically faster, but it's also much more difficult and much more dangerous, which is bad in a tourney setting.
Both escaped the tunnel of fun with no scratches. Looks like Metallica has about a half-second lead over... Or, I'm sorry, Hellfire has a half-second lead over Metallica.
Yep, takes a scrape against the wall there, which costs them a little bit of speed. Technically, that fan portion is also fast terrain, but it's not long enough to really affect the track. And Hellfire holds the boost there. Lovely. 101.5. About a tenth of a second faster than Metallica.
Yeah, Hellfire is increasing their lead just by a little bit.
Oh no! Clips the wall and takes a crash in the corner. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, after those first two good laps.
And with that, I think Metallica is breaking serve and taking a pick from Hellfire.
Yeah, Metallica got through the tube, so not many places to die now. Even passes FUD at the very end.
Ooh, oh, that corner was super close, Hellfire.
Yeah, that goes to Metallica.
305 to Metallica because of that one death. That is unfortunate.
So for race 10, Hellfire has temp banned Eldarbedo. Metallica again, banning Executioner. What do you think about the Beto ban there, Bamas?
I think it's a throwaway unless Hellfire plans to use their force points to ban even more.
That's true.
Oh,
Look like it.
Hellfire uses their salty runback on Inferno, which means that Metallica can now stop banning Executioner.
It looks like we're doing the full track on this, so no skip.
That's not surprising. This is Hellfire's pick, and Hellfire does not like Inferno skips. Oh, Hellfire's game has crashed, so we'll be back in just a second there.
Just have to ask this, but does the volcano on Inferno remind anyone of the Wii Sports Resort volcano? Just I don't know, it just came into my head. Doing the sword
Well,
fight or something.
Wii Sports was what, like 2004, and this game was 1999. So if anything, the Wii Sports Volcano resembles this one. Thank you very much.
Okay, if we're not get pedantic about it. Wii Sports Resort sold more, I'm just saying.
And we are going to be seeing a Ben mirror here, which is technically possible by the bare skin of your teeth, because again, Ben Quaternaros is a dragster, and these curves are insanely difficult to do while still maintaining your heat. Ooh, that doesn't bode well.
I mean, do you think Ben would be the pod of choice here if the opening part didn't have those two long straightaways?
Hmm.
Something to think
Difficult to
about.
tell.
Yeah. Because a lot of it is similar to FMR, and that's where Bullseyes came, but
All right, looks like just about a 5-second even. Oh, Hellfire cutting that corner.
And smash
Very close. I was sorry. I'm sorry. I had to open my mouth.
I think Balance is cursed, everyone. We gotta do like a seance or something.
Oh no!
Ugh.
That one wasn't me. That one was not me. I was not talking that time.
That's true. I was talking about you, though.
Oh, but I'm doomed, aren't I?
Maybe.
Oh, 2 deaths in on Inferno. That is unfortunate. And again, this is Hellfire's pick.
Yeah, Metallica's been playing quite consistently tonight, I would say.
Oh, Metallica always plays consistently.
Yeah.
I think we've seen him take 1 death this entire match.
Yeah, Nuvu, Vengeance.
Yeah, Hellfire looks like they're getting pretty tilted right now, which is bad for your mental state.
I think both players have been showing a little bit of fatigue, as the chat would indicate, but...
Well, that's not surprising. It's best of
Yeah.
13 match is excruciating. $225.8 from Metallica versus a third crash from Hellfire and a DNF. Ouch. And with that, it is match point Metallica.
Alrighty. Yeah, look at that. Oh, for race 11, Hellfire has temp banned Mahonic. Metallica temp ban AQC. So that's a bit of a change. Hellfire does have 3 force points to use, so maybe we can see a little bit something interesting.
Well, if they're going to use it, they have to use it now. This is their last race pick for this game.
Yeah, that would be true, because Hellfire has to sweep the next 3.
Looks like we're going to Malice Air 100 full track, no skips, no bans. Hellfire is not using their force points.
Hmm.
Looks like we had another crash from Hellfire, I think. Oh, that's true. Hellfire complains that there's no upgrade forces in this version of tournament, and Hellfire is a pretty strong player of no upgrades.
That
So with
would
no
make
force points to spend it on, it's just Ben.
it more diverse, that's for sure. Was there no upgrades last year?
Yep, and the year before that.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Which is why we saw some races that were 10 minutes long, and which is probably why we don't have no upgrades today. You know, I don't think I've ever seen that crash before.
A little command. Okay, we're gonna get started in just a moment. Tail goes off.
Almost 5 seconds exactly. I know as a commentator I'm supposed to be neutral, but I'm really cheering for Hellfire right now. I want to see them come back from this.
Yeah, I've had the chance to talk with Hellfire, so I've gotten to know them a little bit.
Both players taking advantage of that momentary fast terrain in that not quite a figure eight. And here we have the difficult portion. Both players take it cleanly through that hairpin, which is the sharpest turn in the game. And this is the only track that requires 2420 traction to get through that.
Eked out a decent edge there. Looked like maybe 0.7.
Yep. Hellfire took that hairpin way better. Trying to cut corners way more closely as well, I notice.
Hellfire's just gunning it this whole round, this whole match.
Being incredibly aggressive.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, Metallica taking it wide in the hairpin. I am just cringing every time they take that turn.
Hellfire gets a little more of a lead with lap 2 done.
And it all comes down to the third hairpin.
Hellfire's got it.
Hellfire's got it.
Metallica too, but Hellfire takes that
With
race.
another crash right before the finish.
Again? Oh my goodness. This is getting ridiculous.
144.924, which is a new tournament record. By 0.05 of a second. That's the new tourney record.
Took off half a second. Good racing.
500ths of a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Still though, good racing.
Oh man.
Well,
the redemption arc is real.
It's still a match, folks. Looks like Hellfire's strategy is paying off a little bit.
Submit.
I believe, says Radiant. Yeah, we're in for another race, that's for sure.
I think I need to get lightning in chat here. This thing is failing to verify.
Oh, the score count.
Yeah. Can you try verifying? Maybe it just doesn't like me.
Let's see if I can find
Metallica says, "Let's postpone the rest of the match. Let's go home."
it. Both of them just want to be done. Actually, have to admit, I'm not entirely sure how to do the score count.
I've been doing it. Don't mind it.
Okay.
This is unfortunate.
I see the tracker there. Let me pull it up.
In the Discord.
Yeah, I'm at the page now. Okay, I think I did it on my end. It looks like it's correct now, right? Actually, no, I think we both did it. Okay, that looks good.
Okay, looks like we're just going low tech for the rest of this.
Bado decided to take a break from us.
Yep. Metallica is banning Ben Quadraneros. All right, I'm just gonna pull up a timer real quick and issue the countdown.
Have we selected the next track?
Not yet.
Okay.
Hellfire temporary bans Bumpy's Breakers.
And it looks like we're going to Baru Coast per Metallica's pick. Full track.
Okay, timer started.
Beach day indeed. This should be fun. Yeah, another challenging track to play with Ben, just more tight turns, so quite similar to Fire Mountain Rally as we saw earlier.
Oh, looks like Metallica is going with Mars Guo on Baru, which makes sense. Mars is much more consistent than Ben.
Well, Ben got banned here, actually, just...
Oh, I missed
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I did too for a moment, but it looks like Hellfire is choosing Sayunga, the Bullseye Noir clone. So the turn should be pretty easy for Hellfire to take here, but the boosting won't be as good as Mars. So in a way, it's kind of the opposite of the Fire Mount Rally match.
Yep, Mars in theory is a little faster here because his longer boost. He has just enough turning to make up the boost where he's weak.
As the Metallica crashes in practice.
Excuse me.
How's my Hellfire changing?
Going to Mahonic, yeah.
Okay, okay. That's more in line with the Mars Guo type pod.
Okay, countdown has been given.
Hey.
Oops. I'm actually not sure who's faster in this circumstance.
There we go.
I mean, I have a personal preference for Mars Guo, but that's because his model is much more comprehensible than Mahonic's.
That's one way to put it.
All right, 2.7 from Metallic, I think.
Copy that.
Both players going over this chasm. In theory, Mars does have the much longer boost time, which means he's able to go all the way across that beach in one boost.
Yeah. Boosting is all about maximizing the longest time you can boost to get the highest speed, so the beach is a good location for that on this track. On a track which is normally devoid of that kind of long straightaway sections.
According to Game Draco, this is where Mahonic loses over Mars.
Yeah,
due
the
to his
sections.
different heat and cooling.
Oh.
About a tenth of a second difference.
Yeah, it's not much.
Then again, the tournament is made up of not muches, isn't it?
Well, that's why we love it.
It looks like even with pod differences, Hellfire is taking their turns much more closely than Metallica, which is where most of that difference comes from, I think.
Lap 2 Metallica is still ahead by maybe 0.2 of a second.
I thought I saw that Hellfire's lap 2 time was a little bit short of the Metallica's.
Oh, was it? Yeah, you could be right.
Looks like right now with it looks like there's a little bit of sync delay. Was like we're just not going to fix that right now. They are pretty close to neck and neck.
Mm-hmm. This is gonna be a close one.
Oh no, that's the race right there.
Little offline, yep.
Little offline,
Little
taking
jump.
those bumps, losing that speed. That is the race.